All right, so you sent us this this pretty crazy interview
Yeah.
with Cristiano Ronaldo sitting down with Piers Morgan and basically just
Yeah.
dropping some serious truth bombs about his time back at Manchester United.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's unpack this whole thing.
All right.
It's safe to say that his return hasn't exactly been smooth sailing.
Right.
There's been struggles on and off the pitch.
Yeah.
But this interview,
Mm-hmm.
wow, he did not hold back.
He did not.
We really need to get inside his head here and figure out why is he speaking out like this?
I think it's so interesting to see a player of his stature
Yeah,
be so open, especially knowing it's going to cause such a media frenzy.
right.
It shows how deeply he feels about these issues.
Yeah.
And that he's just not willing to stay silent anymore,
Exactly.
even with the risk of all the criticism.
Yes, so this deep dive's not just about gossip.
Right.
It's about understanding Ronaldo's perspective on what went down at Manchester United.
Absolutely.
His relationships with the club, the staff, the players.
Yeah.
And then figuring out, what does this mean for his future?
Yeah, it's a really rare peek behind the curtain of one of the most famous athletes in the world.
For sure.
And I think it speaks volumes about the pressures at that level.
Yeah, so let's rewind back to last year.
Okay.
Ronaldo's at Juventus,
Mm-hmm.
and the rumor mill is going crazy about his next move, and then bam, the biggest shock possible,
Yeah.
whispers of him going to Manchester City.
Can you imagine?
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, given his history with United,
Yeah,
it seemed unthinkable.
it did.
It was even close to happening.
Really?
Guardiola himself confirmed City's interest.
Wow.
Yeah,
But then the heartstrings get pulled,
right.
the pull of Old Trafford, the fans, the legacy,
Mhm.
and of course that crucial conversation with Sir Alex Ferguson.
That's right. Talk about a powerful influence.
Yeah.
That conversation, it seems like that was the clincher.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's always spoken about the impact Ferguson had on his career.
Right.
Almost like a father figure to him.
Sure.
Really just shaped who he became as a player.
You could see that emotional pull in everything that followed.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the absolute frenzy when he officially returned to Manchester United?
Oh, yeah.
Shirt sales through the roof, social media exploding.
It was pandemonium.
It was a true homecoming.
The prodigal son had returned.
Yeah, and everyone, including Ronaldo,
Yes.
was buzzing with excitement.
Oh, absolutely.
But that initial euphoria,
That's-
it didn't last.
It did not know. The cracks started to show pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Ronaldo openly expresses his disappointment
yeah.
at what he saw as a lack of progress at Manchester United since his departure back in 2009.
He didn't hold back about the outdated facilities.
No, he did not.
And for him, it wasn't just about aesthetics.
Right.
He saw it as symbolic
Yeah,
of a bigger problem,
absolutely.
like a lack of ambition and investment
Mm.
to truly compete at the top level.
Right, and especially compared to his experiences at Real Madrid and Juventus,
Exactly.
where innovation and pushing boundaries
Yeah.
seem to be like baked into the culture.
Right. You have to think about it.
Yeah,
At Real
Right.
Madrid, he won 4 Champions League titles.
that's right.
And Juventus, he helped them continue their domestic dominance.
Right.
These clubs are constantly evolving,
Yes.
always seeking an edge.
Mm-hmm.
So to go from that environment back to what he perceived as stagnation at United
Right.
must have been jarring.
Yeah, I mean, a huge culture shock.
And it wasn't just facilities, right?
No.
He also voiced his concerns about the managerial appointments following Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement.
That's right.
Specifically, he was puzzled by Ralph Rangnick being appointed sporting director.
And you can see why, because Rangnick was known more for his coaching,
Right.
especially his tactical innovations, not necessarily for his sporting director experience.
Yeah, and it goes back to that difference in football management structures,
Right.
which varies quite a bit.
Yeah, you see different setups in different leagues.
Right, so it seems like Ronaldo was questioning whether Rangnick, despite his expertise,
Mm-hmm.
was the right fit to lead the club's overall footballing strategy.
Yeah, I mean, was he the right person to have that big picture view?
Exactly, and he specifically questioned Rangnick's grasp of the club's history.
Yeah,
And he felt like the club wasn't making the strategic decisions needed to get back to the top.
right.
And this really exposed a philosophical clash between Ronaldo's drive for excellence
Yes.
and what he perceived as a lack of urgency from the management.
Yeah. You've got Ronaldo, who is known for his almost obsessive work ethic.
Right.
And his desire to win.
Of course.
He expects everyone around him
Yeah.
to share that same level of commitment.
Right.
And it just seems like he didn't see that same fire in the club's leadership.
And this sense of disconnect wasn't just limited to the management.
That's right.
Ronaldo had some eyebrow-raising observations about the younger generation of players at the club. He was pretty blunt in contrasting their mentality and their work ethic with his own generation.
And this is fascinating because it touches on a much larger conversation in football about generational shifts.
Yeah. How has technology and social media, even modern training methods, shaped the mindset of young players today?
Are they less driven?
Right.
Are they less willing to suffer, as Ronaldo put it, for success?
He even said some don't care as much.
Yeah.
Though he clarified that don't suffer was a better way to phrase it.
Right.
But regardless, he clearly sees a difference in hunger. In that relentless drive.
Absolutely.
That's defined his own career.
It makes you think about how clubs bridge this generational gap.
Right.
You know, fostering a culture of mentorship and shared learning.
Yeah.
Can a veteran like Ronaldo, with his incredible experience, play a role in shaping the next generation?
That's a good question.
Or is this just like a deeper cultural shift in the game?
It raises a lot of questions, for sure.
It does.
But before we dive into the whole Ronaldo-Ten Hag saga, we have to address the personal tragedy that undoubtedly impacted him.
Yeah.
The loss of his baby son.
Absolutely. This is such a heart-wrenching event.
Yeah.
That deserves our utmost sensitivity.
He called it the worst moment he's experienced.
It's hard to imagine the pain he and Georgina went through.
I know.
Yeah.
And despite that unimaginable grief, they also welcomed their daughter Bella into the world.
They did.
It's a testament to their strength and resilience.
Yeah. They showed incredible strength during that time.
And the outpouring of support from the football community was incredible.
Oh, it was amazing.
Even rival fans like those at Liverpool showed their solidarity.
Yeah.
And there was even a letter from the Queen's family.
It's a reminder that even in the world of fierce competition, empathy and compassion can prevail.
It's impossible to say how much this tragedy affected Ronaldo professionally, but it undoubtedly had a profound impact on him as a person.
For sure, as a human being.
And it's against this incredibly emotional backdrop that his relationship with Erik ten Hag began to unravel.
Yeah, tensions were already brewing before the season even started.
Yeah, Ronaldo missed preseason training because of his daughter's illness.
Right.
And he felt like the club was unsympathetic and didn't trust his explanation.
Yeah, he really felt betrayed by their doubts.
Yeah.
And felt like that relationship with the club had really been damaged.
And it's easy to see how that could affect his trust in the management.
Absolutely.
So this was the first sign of a series of clashes that would come to define his final months at Manchester United.
It really highlights the complexities of that player-club dynamic in modern football.
It does.
Where's the line between loyalty and ambition?
Yeah.
How do you navigate personal issues in such a high-pressure environment?
These are questions that resonate far beyond Ronaldo's individual case.
They do. They apply to so many players.
But before we explore those further,
okay,
we have to talk about that Tottenham match.
Okay.
A definite turning point.
Right. The one where he left the stadium early.
Yes.
Creating a media firestorm.
Yeah.
And just throwing gasoline on the already smoldering tensions with Ten Hag.
It wasn't just a simple tantrum.
No, it was a statement.
Yeah.
Ronaldo felt disrespected by Ten Hag's decision to only give him 3 minutes of playing time.
He admitted later that he regretted leaving early.
He did.
But maintained that he felt provoked and disrespected.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about the minutes on the pitch.
Right.
It was about his role in the team, his status, his pride.
And of course, the consequences were swift.
Yeah.
He was suspended for the next few games.
Yeah, it all became very public, with Ten Hag saying Ronaldo refused to come on as a substitute.
It's interesting how Ronaldo acknowledged the impact of his actions.
He did.
Especially on his young fans and his children.
Yeah, he clearly sees himself as a role model. And this incident seemed to create a conflict between his unwavering self-belief and his responsibility as a global icon.
But for Ronaldo, this wasn't an isolated incident.
Right.
He genuinely believed that Ten Hag was intentionally trying to push him out of the club.
Yeah.
And that this wasn't something new.
Right.
It was a pattern.
Yeah, a pattern of behavior.
He spoke about feeling betrayed.
Yeah.
And sensed that certain people at the club didn't want him there. Not just this season, but going back to the previous year.
Yeah, this feeling of being unwanted really fueled his frustration.
Absolutely.
And further eroded communication with the club.
Yeah, and this sense of betrayal extended beyond the management.
It did.
He also addressed criticism from former teammates like Wayne Rooney and Gary Neville.
People he had shared incredible successes with.
I know.
People you would assume he had strong relationships with.
And he didn't hold back his disappointment and confusion.
No.
He felt like some of the criticism was rooted in jealousy or a desire for attention.
Which is another layer of complexity to the whole situation.
Right.
How do you navigate those shifting dynamics when former teammates become pundits?
Yeah.
Often with very strong opinions.
And while we're on the topic of strong opinions, Ronaldo didn't spare the Glazer family.
He did not.
The owners of Manchester United.
No, he did not.
He echoed the sentiments of many fans.
Right.
Criticizing their focus on profits over the club's sporting success.
And it's a sentiment that's been brewing for years among United's supporters.
Yeah, they feel like the Glazers are more interested in the bottom line than in building a winning team. So we're seeing a pattern here, right? Yeah. Ronaldo feels disillusioned not just with the manager, but with the overall direction of the club.
Absolutely.
And even with certain individuals within the club.
Yeah, it's not just about one incident. It's a culmination of things that have chipped away at his trust.
For sure.
And his belief in the club's direction.
It seems like the honeymoon is definitely over.
Yeah, safe to say that.
So where does this leave him?
Well, all eyes turn to the World Cup. Potentially Ronaldo's last dance on the biggest stage.
What a World Cup it's shaping up to be.
It is.
Maybe even a final chapter in the epic rivalry between Ronaldo and Messi.
It's almost poetic.
I know.
Two titans of the sport.
Yeah.
Potentially facing off in what could be their World Cup swan song.
Talk about a legacy-defining moment.
Yeah, incredible stakes. Yeah, incredible stakes.
And Ronaldo's certainly not lacking in motivation.
No, not at all.
He spoke about wanting to play for at least another 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Ideally hanging up his boots at the age of 40.
Which is incredible when you think about it.
I know.
He's maintained this unbelievable level of fitness and dedication for decades.
It's unheard of.
Most players are considering retirement.
Right.
Not aiming for new milestones at that age.
And it's not just about longevity.
Right.
It's about playing at the highest level. Remember, he turned down that massive offer from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
A move that would have made him the highest paid player in the world.
I mean, that decision speaks volumes.
It does.
He's not chasing a paycheck.
Right.
He's chasing glory competition.
Yeah.
A chance to prove he can still dominate on the biggest stages.
It makes you wonder, what does the right environment even look like for Ronaldo at this point in his career?
Yeah.
If he does leave Manchester United, where could he go that would satisfy that ambition?
It's a question a lot of clubs are probably asking themselves right now.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a club that wants him.
Right.
It's about finding a club that truly understands his mentality, his playing style, his needs.
And I think it's about more than just trophies at this point.
I think so, too.
It's about respect.
Yeah.
About being valued for his experience, his leadership.
Yeah, he needs a team and a coach who can build a system that maximizes his strengths.
Right.
Even as his role on the pitch might be evolving.
Finding that perfect fit.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
It is.
But we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's right.
He's built his entire career on overcoming challenges.
Exactly. He thrives on it.
He even talked about how the game itself has changed, how it's become more of a business, less about the pure love of the sport. He used the phrase, a piece of meat, to describe how players are sometimes treated.
It's a stark observation.
Yeah.
Especially coming from someone who has thrived at the highest level of this business.
It's true.
I think it reveals a disillusionment.
Yeah.
A sense that maybe something has been lost amidst the mega deals and the constant media scrutiny.
But even with that disillusionment, you can hear that competitive fire still burning.
Oh, absolutely.
He's still driven by the desire to win, to break records, to cement his legacy as one of the greatest.
And his approach has evolved, too.
It has.
He might not be the same explosive winger he was at 20.
Right.
But his game has adapted, becoming more clinical, more about intelligent movement, and maximizing his strengths.
It's that adaptability, that relentless pursuit of improvement that's allowed him to stay at the top for so long.
And don't forget, before we get lost in speculation about his next move, There's this little thing called the World Cup happening right now.
The World Cup.
Yeah.
And it's not just any World Cup.
No.
It could be his last chance to win the one trophy that has eluded him.
Talk about a storybook ending.
I know.
To lift the World Cup trophy in what could be his final appearance on that stage.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate validation.
For sure.
Of his incredible career.
He's tried to downplay Portugal's chances.
He has.
Calling them the underdogs.
Right.
But you can hear the hunger in his voice.
Oh, yeah.
The desire to finally achieve that dream.
It's the kind of narrative that makes the World Cup so compelling.
Absolutely.
The individual stories, the national pride,
yeah.
the weight of history, all converging on this global stage.
And even if Portugal doesn't go all the way, you can't deny the impact Ronaldo has already had on the game.
His longevity, his dedication,
right.
his relentless pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
These are things that transcend trophies and records.
They do.
He's inspired millions around the world, not just to play football, but to strive for greatness in whatever they pursue.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
The World Cup is still unfolding.
It is.
And with Ronaldo, you never know what surprises he might have in store.
He's made a career out of defying expectations.
He has.
So it would be foolish to rule anything out.
And as we continue this deep dive, we'll go beyond the headlines and really try to understand what makes Ronaldo tick.
Yeah.
We'll explore his relationships, his rivalries, and his reflections on a career that has captured the world's imagination.
It's a fascinating story.
We'll delve into his criticisms of Manchester United.
Yeah.
His thoughts on the current state of football and what his aspirations are for the future, both on and off the pitch.
Okay, so really getting the full picture.
It's a glimpse into the mind of a truly complex and fascinating individual.
Sure.
Someone who, even with all his achievements, is still driven to prove himself.
So buckle up, because we're about to go deep into the world of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
A player who is as compelling as he is controversial.
And speaking of compelling and controversial, we can't have this conversation without talking about the other half of that legendary duo, Lionel Messi.
Of course.
Their rivalry has been the defining narrative in football.
It really has.
For well over a decade.
It's a rivalry for the ages.
It is.
Two players with completely different styles.
Yeah.
But both operating at a level of genius.
Unbelievable.
That's pushed the boundaries of what's possible on the pitch.
And in the interview, Ronaldo actually spoke about Messi with a level of respect that we don't always see in the media.
It's true. You don't often hear that.
He called him Magic, a top player. And even acknowledged that he might be the best he's ever seen.
Wow.
Well, besides himself, of course.
Right, of course.
He even compared Messi to Zidane.
Oh, wow.
Another legend he faced during his career.
Yeah, another incredible player.
And it's fascinating because you can sense the admiration there, even amidst the competition.
I think so, too.
Ronaldo described their relationship as more like teammates than rivals.
Interesting.
They've shared the stage for over 16 years.
That's right.
Pushing each other to constantly raise the bar.
Yeah, it's like they've been on this parallel journey together.
It is.
Pushing each other to new heights.
He even shared this funny anecdote.
Oh, yeah.
About their wives getting along really well.
I love that.
It kind of humanizes them a bit.
It does.
Reminds us that beyond the trophies and the Ballon d'Or awards, they're just people with families.
Right.
And lives outside of football.
It's a good reminder that the media often amplifies the rivalry.
Yeah, they do.
Focusing on the competition more than the mutual respect. Right. That seems to exist between them.
But, okay, back to the interview.
All right.
There's this moment where Piers Morgan throws out a hypothetical scenario.
I wonder what this is.
The dream scenario for any football fan.
Okay.
A World Cup final, Portugal versus Argentina.
Okay.
And it's down to the wire.
I'm on the edge of my seat already.
Picture this. Both Ronaldo and Messi have scored 2 goals each.
Oh, my gosh.
The tension is unbearable.
I can't even imagine.
And then in the 94th minute,
Ronaldo
completes his hat trick, securing the World Cup for Portugal.
Wow.
Hollywood couldn't script it better.
Talk about a fairy tale ending to this epic rivalry.
And you know what Ronaldo's response was?
What?
He said he'd retire on the spot.
Really?
No hesitation. 100% done.
Wow.
Mic drop moment.
It really is.
Shows the magnitude of what that achievement would mean. Not just for him, but for his country, for his legacy.
It would be the ultimate validation of a career dedicated to pushing his limits.
It's a reminder that for players like Ronaldo, the World Cup holds a special significance.
It does.
It's more than just a tournament.
Yeah.
It's a chance to etch your name in history, to become a national hero.
But beyond the individual accolades, it was interesting to hear Ronaldo talk about wanting to give back. Using his platform to inspire the next generation.
He mentioned wanting to write a book.
Okay.
But not just your typical autobiography.
Oh, interesting.
He wants to focus on mentorship, on guiding young players, navigating the challenges of professional football.
That's great.
He particularly emphasized the importance of mental strength and resilience, something he believes is crucial for success, both on and off the pitch.
And it shows a level of maturity and self-awareness that we don't always associate with superstar athletes. It seems like he's already thinking about life after football. About how he can use his experiences to make a positive impact.
It's a legacy that goes beyond goals and trophies.
It really is.
It's about inspiring a mindset, an approach to life that emphasizes hard work, dedication, and the belief in your own potential.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what have we learned?
We've gone beyond the headlines.
We have.
And explored Ronaldo's candid reflections on his time at Manchester United. The highs and the lows.
The frustrations and the aspirations.
We've seen a more vulnerable side. Heard him express his anger and disappointment. But also his unwavering passion for the game.
Absolutely.
And his desire to continue competing at the highest level.
And we've glimpsed into the mind.
We have.
Of a complex and driven individual.
For sure.
Someone who, even after achieving everything imaginable in the sport, is still searching for that perfect fit. That final chapter where he can leave an unforgettable mark.
So the question remains. What will Ronaldo's legacy be?
It's a good question.
Will he be remembered solely for his goal-scoring records and individual brilliance? Or will his impact extend beyond the statistics?
It's hard to say.
Inspiring future generations with his unwavering dedication and his relentless pursuit of greatness.
That's for each of us to decide.
I think so.
As we continue to watch his journey unfold.
Because one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The story of Cristiano Ronaldo is far from over.
It's true.
He's proven time and time again that he has a knack for defying expectations.
He really has.
And writing his own script.
And that's what makes him so captivating.
It is.
You just never know what he'll do next.